Can you guys hear me now? Can you guys hear me now? Wow, yeah, you guys should. That was weird. I don't know why my settings changed. That's weird as hell. Thank you. I appreciate it. I don't know why my settings changed for my mic. I do apologize for that. Let me go ahead and jump back into that. I'm gonna have to definitely edit this video. But Grand Rising, everybody. It's your boy ABK, and thank you for checking out another one of my weekly, or not weekly, my intraday / day trade setups. I'm sorry. I don't know again why my mic was off, but I'm just gonna go over just a quick rundown of what I was already saying. Thanks, Carlo. I appreciate it. But yeah, I was saying that this supply zone that I had mentioned on Monday, it's currently being respected. Like, price did jump up over it a little bit, but the supply zone that I have here, it is getting rejected, and it looks like price might be looking to go on to the downside. Let me put this fib back up so that you guys can see the bearish move that I was talking about. So from this high where price pushed down, the retracement, price is rejected basically off of the 78.6 and the 71%, and so we can expect a bearish push down here or just some consolidation before price continues going bullish, right? One of the two. Right now it looks like price wants to drop down a little bit lower, but it's not as the bullish move to me looks like price is going to keep going higher, from last week, right? So just a retracement is what I'm really looking at right now. The daily time frame candlestick doesn't look the greatest, but I'm going to wait for maybe a day or two to be able to determine that, okay, I'm not going to try to buy it anymore because it just looks like it wants to go bullish, right? So what I said that I wanted to see was, I want to see this retracement, rather this retracement from the low of 92.759 to the high of 93.455. I want this retracement bet down here at 92.960 before I look for a buy opportunity, or before I look for a buy opportunity, like any price action shows me that price is going to buy, or if I'm going to be looking down here at 92.652 for an entry, right? So I'm going to go ahead and put that right there and set up another alert here just in case, right? But I am mainly focused on looking at this pricing, the 92.971. I'm not going to go ahead and try to get into and try to get into it if I see that price is just going to continue dropping, right? Like, I need to see some type of price action before I do that. So going on over to the 1 hour time frame. 1 hour called for the sell. I wanted the breakout retest, which it kind of did. Like, with this candle right here, it really did push to the upside and then end up continuing to the downside. So that's something that I blundered on for both right here at 8 o'clock and over here at 2 a.m. So it is what it is, right? It is what it is. There's definitely more opportunities in the market. Definitely still want to see this go bullish though, however. Just want a retrace, like I said, just want a retracement. The retracement, I do believe it will go into my zone. Yep, 92.961, where I'll be looking for a possible buy entry, right? So that's what I'm looking at for the DXY. Gonna see how things play out for sure. Daily time frame still very much bullish, or what's a call for a buy on the daily time frame. And a weekly time frame, it's going to work. Bands are contracting, so 94.554. I still expect us to reach that. So just waiting for this arbitrage move to happen, because I mean, like I said, I blundered both. Well, I mean, 2 o'clock I was asleep, and over here at 8 o'clock I definitely was not paying attention to the charts. So man, it's something definitely gonna have to keep an eye on with the DXY. I'm going over to Euro USD. Euro USD, like I said, I blundered on this. I'm just gonna show it right now. I wanted the breakout retest continuation as per usual stop loss would be at break even if I were to have gotten in, basically. So going over to Euro USD on technical analysis, I'm gonna go ahead and put that trade away. I don't need to talk about it anymore. So let me get rid of this fib too. So I was mentioning, and this was probably a sniper move right here. Same thing with the DXY, and it's currently at the swing buy area. Like, and it would be at an entry where I'm totally fine with buying. You know, I'm not too crazy over the buys long term, but this is at from the low of 1.16627 to the high of 1.19070. The retracement to that 78.6 is pretty nice. I'm not gonna lie, it is pretty damn good looking. However, or not even however, because price did come over here and break through this lower high and went bullish, right? So that's one thing. That's one thing that I am really debating about with these USD pairs, because they are at zones that they could go bullish at. However, this has been making lower highs and lower lows. And it's just that right now it's currently at this equal low, where again, it's not a bad place to necessarily buy at right now. However, if you're really looking at, like, you're just looking at the 50 EMA, the price, I mean, like the price action and all that, I don't know. It's just, for me personally, it's kind of risky. But at the same time, if you know what you're risking and you're okay with taking that said risk, then this is not a bad possible trade to try to hedge. You know, like hedge as in, because I'm in a sell, so but I could also try to get into a buy as well, you know. So that's something that I'm really looking out for on Euro USD, because man, this is just the way how the bears came in. I wouldn't suggest getting into this trade. No cap. The way how the bears came in, I would not suggest getting in. But again, if you're down to risk it, that this is a trade setup that you can take, but I do not advise it. I'm just showing it, and if it plays out, then hey, I was wrong, and I'm totally fine with being wrong. Like, there's nothing wrong with being wrong. But again, I'm just, the way how the bears came in, it's still a little too much for me. What I would indeed want to see though, which is probably what some traders might do this morning, is from this recent bearish push, get this retracement up to 1.17630, and then depending on how the price action looks, get into that. Or this would probably be like in a day or two, unless price really goes crazy this morning. Even from this high, even from where my entry is at, if you will. Or yeah, I'm just gonna have it from where my entry is at. Why not? From where my where I got in at 1.18318, I'm gonna set an alert right here at 1.17936, because price could come up here as well. You know, I want to be able to see like where the possible entries are. Like, those are my two entries that I'll be looking for. You know. And so we'll see whichever one gets hit, and whatever price action is looking at the time, I'll be like, yo, maybe I'm gonna get in, maybe I won't, or we'll see what happens, right? We'll see what happens. But again, EU looks like it's about to take off. I wish I was awake. I would have got in that, but it's all good. And again, the retracement is literally where like my TP would be at for EU. It is, however, at that possible swing buy area, just like with AUD USD. So AUD USD, I'm kind of not mad necessarily, but I'm like, dang, that's unfortunate, because I wanted to come a little lower at 0.72146 before going bullish, and you know, I could definitely see this. It's just like with Euro USD, right? It looks like there are potential buy areas, and I mean, with this in general, it's already at a huge possible swing, like position trade buy area, if you will. Not even a swing, but with AUD USD, I'm kind of watching to see what it does. If you go into the 4-hour time frame, you do see that it is showing some type of retracement, and it is only making lower lows at the lower highs and lower lows at this point. So trying to get into a buy on AUD USD is a little risky at this point. And same thing as per usual, right? I do like how this lower high, no, this made equal highs. I do see this possibility of price coming down to 0.92387 and then going bullish again, but at this time, like I said, I'm not really digging AUD USD for a buy. If anything, I would have wanted to get into even this arbitrage. Didn't look that great, and then there's this bearish engulfing candle that just happened. This might bring AUD USD to make a lower low or something like that. You know, it's not the greatest look. It is indeed not the greatest look. It kind of looks like, to me, in fact, no, it didn't reach. I don't think it reached that fib. Oh, it did actually. No, it didn't. It barely missed it. If I were to bring it lower, then yeah, it did. Hit that 61.8 and then fell. If I brought it lower, but I was just trying to take it from like the actual high. Well, yeah, from this wick, yeah, it could definitely keep falling from right here. So let's see what happens. Yeah, let's see what happens with AUD USD. But as of right now, I think it's gonna like fall a little bit. I don't even think that it's gonna like retrace and necessarily come to 0.72370 then go bullish. I think that it actually might end up hitting this target right here, the way how it's looking right now, right? Like if I were to go onto the 15-minute time frame on arbitrage, going for a sell, yeah. So I'm not gonna play off of the 15-minute. 30 minutes about to play out though, but that's just what I'm seeing. You know, I think that this is probably gonna end up pushing to the downside a little bit. So that's with AUD USD. Not really watching that. USHEF, I don't know why that's green. I'm not in it anymore. All right, so this was a USHEF trade that I got into yesterday that I thought was gonna play out. I saw that it was rejecting. I don't know why I didn't delete this, but I saw that it was rejecting off of that 50 EMA. I'm like, nope, let me get out. But anyways, supply zone held on USHEF pretty nicely. It's not a sign that I like to see. It did reject off of that 71%. Pretty damn good. At the end of the day, it's making higher highs and higher lows, so that's something that I definitely got to acknowledge. Although it's broken through this higher low right here at 92.590. So what I'm watching for is, you know, naturally, I want to see price come back down to like 0.92114, reject there, and then continue going bullish. It could definitely reject off of that 50 EMA. It could definitely reject off of that 50 EMA and then continue going bullish. But like I said, I'm definitely feeling more of that 0.94363 entry. So let's go ahead and put that. Wait, 0.92114. Right, and then we'll see once it gets to the 23.6 fib, then we'll see what it looks like for a potential like continuation to the downside. But I don't necessarily think that USHEF is bearish right now. I think that it does want to indeed continue making higher highs, but you know, we would have to see what that looks like. Let me throw this away. Well, not throw it away, but hide it real quick. Yeah, not necessarily in a rush to try to sell. not necessarily in a rush to try to sell. Price can definitely continue going bullish from like right here, because I mean it's just something that I like to do. And no, never mind. Like from like I was gonna say like, oh, from where price actually broke through this high. Sometimes price likes to go to that fib area, then retrace, but nah, that doesn't look good. Stick to what I have. 1 hour time frame. I wanted the retracement. I had mentioned about I'd want to see price break down to, push to the downside, retest and continuation. Never got the retest, so it is what it is. 4 hour time frame is currently rejecting off of that RSI line on the 4 hour time frame, but the candle has an hour and 32 minutes left to close, so anything can happen, you know. Price can definitely bounce off of it and then go bullish, or it could just, you know, continue falling. But definitely gonna wait and see what happens. Daily time frame, it's been bullish, rejecting off of that second deviation. And the weekly time frame, again, the weekly time frame has hit this upper danger zone, so that's something that I had mentioned on Sunday. I'm like, yo, since it's rejected, since it's hit right here, I do expect there to be some type of rejections. Rejections happen, but that doesn't mean that it's time to sell this yet, you know. It could just be coming to the downside and then looking to go bullish very shortly. Like, I'm pretty sure on the 15-minute it's setting up for a buy literally right now. Oh, never mind. No, it's not. Maybe on the 5-minute, but not on the 15. So, again, gonna wait and see what 0.92114 would bring before I try anything, honestly. Okay, let's go on to the S&P. Okay, so I had mentioned that there's one of two things that could happen with the S&P. I'm gonna hide that. I was saying that one, either A, this was gonna play out, which it definitely did not. And I'm gonna be completely honest, I took an L on this, like my stop loss hit, and I was like, it is what it is. I risked like 0.5%. But what I was really saying was like, okay, this is what looks most likely to occur, and you know, ended up playing out. It's funny enough, I had this set up and I didn't even get into the trade. It would have been a pretty nice sniper if I would have just set the sell limit and buy limit and leave it alone. But you know, there's still the retracement that I would want to wait for, if we get one, that is. Like, let's just say price is gonna stop right here, and let me actually get rid of this. Remove. If we get the retracement back down, that like it would literally go back to probably like where my entry would be at. I would totally get in and have the same stop loss, right? Same stop loss, same take profit. However, I cannot ignore how the bear stepped in. The bear stepped in pretty heavy, and you know, I do believe, I personally think that price is going to keep going bullish. I mean, that 4 hour left a pretty gnarly wick. A retracement and the continuation is definitely not out of the picture. But again, just gotta look at both ways. Just gotta look at it both ways. This area can be something that we watch for. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark this off as a supply zone. That is something that we could definitely watch for a potential reversal, or price can then just continue pushing to the downside. But I'm not necessarily looking at that, you know. I'm more watching for that retracement and then a continuation to the upside. That's what I'm really looking for. So go ahead and delete that. 1 hour time frame. If I can get that retracement, then let's go get it. Honestly. A little lower would be nicer. And hey, if it comes back to where I wanted to get an entry in and goes bullish from that, then I'm totally fine with that. You know, I'm 100% okay with that. Let me go ahead and go on over to arbitrage real quick. I do know that the 1 hour time frame did call for a buy. So with this buy right here, this is where arbitrage and technical analysis sometimes don't meet up. With this buy right here, all price would have to really do is come in and retest 4377, and I can get in there like swimwear, right? 4 hour time frame, very much bearish. It coming back down and rejecting off of that deviation 2 is much more likely than not much more likely, but it's likely for it to go bullish, right? Sell, although it only called for a sell yesterday, and that was with that, and price I guess would have hit take profit right where I would look to enter, but everything else is calling for buys down here. So it's kind of like it's kind of iffy, right? So I want to see at least some type of retracement. I'll see what arbitrage is going to do with this. I'm not even going to set in a lift for it because I don't care for it like that. It's going over to Dow Jones, and same thing with Dow Jones. I fumbled the bag hardcore. I'd mentioned either A 34294.5 was going to get hit, and it's funny because even with that, like this, I don't think the stop loss necessarily got hit. Let me see, hold on. I still fumbled the bag because I got out early. I'm not gonna lie. Got into this. So, from this, yeah, stop loss definitely did not even like get hit because I think I had my stop loss like under this. Anyways, it's okay because I didn't want to even be in the trade when it was going down. I'm like, you know what? I should have waited. Regardless, let's go ahead and delete all this right here. And you know, same thing with US 30, right? From this bearish move, we do have to watch out for this supply zone, because this is definitely something that like you can't just like be like, oh well, it's not gonna do some type of consolidation right there. Like it definitely can, you know. So definitely gonna watch out for that, but more than likely this is what I'm gonna be playing off of. So if this could come back into my wanted entry, then let's take it to the upside for sure. It won't even be right there. That's just like the fib, but I would definitely have the same stop losses right there and like let's make higher highs. Because as much as people are fearful for the market right now, I talked about it on the weekly analysis. Like this is way too bullish, and it's always been bullish. Then so it's just like it just makes dips and then goes bullish, dips goes bullish, dips goes bullish. So we'll see how this goes. We'll see how this plays out. Going over to arbitrage, same thing. 1 hour time frame, calling for a buy. I might really get into this. That's all that it looks like it's really gonna do at this point. 4 hour time frame was very bearish. Same thing, rejecting off of the second deviation to go bullish looks like a probable play. Daily time frame, it was bearish, rejected off of the second deviation. Weekly time frame, however, it just looks like it's rejecting off of the RSI line. So that's with Dow Jones. Not really crazy over trying to sell it. All right, let's go look at tacos, right? Mr. Tacos never got the play that I really wanted, which was the retracement down to these lows and then a continuation to the upside, but that's fine. That's totally fine, right? And this thing looks like it wants to like keep going. You know, I don't necessarily, until I see some real retracement, this thing looks like it wants to keep going bullish. 4-hour time frame, yeah, same thing. I would have to wait for a retracement of some sort wherever it stops at. Wherever it stops at retracement, then a continuation, that would be solid. It could stop right here, very much so, but I'm not gonna try that. I'd rather just wait for an actual retracement, like, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know, from the bearish move, I don't know if I even mapped that out. No, I didn't. For the bearish point of view, I mean, from that high to this low, price could just be trying to come up to this area and then push to the upside, but that's not what I'm looking for, right? I'm pretty sure arbitrage though is calling for a sell on the 1 hour on USD Mexican peso. Yeah, so this can definitely be a good possibility to try to sell. I'm gonna go ahead and actually get into this. Probably have my stop loss right there. Although where my stop loss is at, let's just say that price, if it goes a little bit more bullish, my stop loss is literally where that fib zone is at. So gotta watch for that. But and actually, I'm gonna go ahead and do this instead. I'm gonna have a 1 to 5 risk reward, and if price comes back up here, then I'll just like, I'm gonna risk 0.5% here, and if price does come back up here, then I'm gonna add another 0.5% and move my stop loss to above these equal highs. But I'm definitely looking for these sells. I'm gonna go ahead and set up an alert. So short exit all, once per bar close, create. But I like this potential sell right here. It's a good 1 to 1.5. Okay, let's go on to gold. Mr. Goldilocks. Ooh, everyone's favorite, man. Alright, so gold ended up rejecting off of that 1743 and 1750 like zone that I had drawn out. Regardless though, I still, for me to try to, if like I said, if I wanted to buy gold, I would still need to see 1722 get hit. I wasn't just gonna buy off of this. Like, that's just not my style. And just the way how the bears came in with this first bear flag and then the second bear flag that's forming right now, if anything, I would just probably try to play this range. Like, that's just my 2 cents. If anything, I would try to play this range, because regardless of whatever happens, let's just say that price does come back down and then it goes bullish, you would still need for it to come into this range, or not this range, but into this zone right here for another high probability or high probability, high risk to reward bullish push, right? So I'm still actually gonna wait for price to come up to like the likes of 1770, 1771, and then see if it would make like kind of the same move that it did down here, where it did that fake out to the downside, then just pushed to the upside. I'm not really crazy over looking for a full retracement on this, because we never got a full retracement on here, but it could happen, you know. I don't want to take out that probability, but I'm not looking for that personally. I want to see what gold does here, but no cap, it does not look like a bad your love, yeah. It does not look like a bad, like, high probability, or not. It's like low risk, high reward type of play, because if I were to get into this, then this would be what I would try to trade, which I might end up playing no cap. I'd play something like that. It's a 1 to 3.5 risk to reward. It is very much bullish though, so you want to watch for that. And again, the retracement back to these highs is very likely. Like, I don't want to take that away from anybody. These this retracement is likely, but it's not something that I'm interested in at this point because it just looks like this wants to me at least, right? I want to see this come back and hit 1722 before I look to even look for buys. So, and hey, this can even come up with my stop loss and then end up dropping as well. So definitely want to be careful with that, but overall this would be the type of play that I would want to look for anyways, but I'd probably take like half of my trade profits here. And if you want to be safe, then just wait for this to happen. Wait for the breakout to the upside, retracement, or breakout to the upside, look for fake out opportunity, the drop, retracement, then continuation. That will be much safer than trying to just buy it here. But I'm actually down to take this. And if price does extend all the way to my 71%, then that's a 1 to 9. So like those odds. 1 hour time frame definitely is saying no, don't do it, because it looks like it just wants to go bullish. And again, right here, fumble the bag, break, retest. I had opportunities at 8 o'clock I could have got in, then bullish move. It's alright though, it happens. 4 hour time frame is very much bearish, so don't try it. Daily time frame, bearish. I wouldn't get into this sell necessarily. I wouldn't try to sell that. And then again, weekly time frame, it's at this lower danger zone, so that is something to watch for. It's rejecting off of it. But I mean, again, this opportunity right here is not terrible to me. Even if I were to put my stop loss a little higher, like up here, it still isn't that bad to me, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and take this as well. No cap. All right, bitty Bitcoin. So price ended up pushing and making lower lows. This is just the trade I have from arbitrage that I put over here on the chart. I took most of my profits here, and I'm just like, let the rest ride, see what happens. And the reason why I had there marked down as a place of interest was because from this low to this high, 78.6, and you guys see how it rejected right there? It instantly pushed to the upside. That's a good sign. That's a good sign to me. I like that, the way how that looks. However, 1765 with my TP 1770. Hey, that's not bad. That's not bad. One thing that I'm not crazy over with the cryptos market right now, there's extreme fear in the market. There's extreme fear in the market. Right? 27, we have a fear of 27. Yesterday was neutral with the drop. It went low. Last week it was at 30. Last month there was extreme greed. You know, I'm one. Hold on, let me see what this 1 year looks like. Did a 50% retracement. I'm not really crazy over how there's so much fear in the market right now, and the way how this bounced, for me to say that okay, this looks like it could continue falling. I like this bounce for real. I love this bounce. Like, that's just mad love. However, it's only on the 4 hour time frame. Daily time frame looks like it's gonna leave a huge wick, but we got to see how this closes before I make any type of decision like that. You know, got to see how this closes. Weekly time frame, pretty big bearish candle, but the wick is basically the same size of the bearish candle. So I mean, I'm excited to see what happens with this. Like, I'm glad that I had this marked up and I took most of my profits, and like, let's see what the rest of the market does. But yeah, I'm not really crazy over how the market looks though overall for any potential buys. Like, No cap. I still have these levels marked off. I still have them marked off. I'm going to keep them marked off because it's like if they end up getting hit, then those are places where I'm going to be like trying to add positions to, you know. Overall though, 61.8 got hit, and again, the way how this dropped, it's the same way how I feel about how price just came over here and then it left a wick. And this is on a higher time frame, on a higher scale, so I'm just like, it doesn't look good, you know. Daily time frame, we do have a 50 EMA breach. That's not a good sign either. 4 hour, same thing. The 50 EMA is way up there. Those aren't really the greatest signs. And you can definitely, for sure, know that I am going to be watching something like this to play out. Breakout, retracement, continuation to the downside. You know? I'm definitely going to be watching for that because I can't, like I said, I can't just act like, oh, I'm super bullish on this when I'm seeing signs of the bears. As much as I want this to be bullish, because trust me, I want this, I want the cryptos to go crazy, but I can't just be like, oh, to the moon. I got to look at both ways. So, I was already in sales, so I'm okay with price bouncing up for the retracement, and then or not even a retracement, just coming over to 40,657, and then going bullish like I did. I'm totally fine with that because I mean, again, I had it marked off for a reason. So let's see what happens there. If I can get the retracement and get close to back, let me just come over here. If I can get something like this, where, let me get rid of this fit, where I can get like, okay, let's just say hypothetically price stops right here, right? And then we get price down to 41,188. I might try to get into a buy to get up to the supply zone, but it all depends on how fast price gets down there or how slow price gets down there, because again, price has been just making lower lows like crazy, lower highs and lower lows. So I'm not going to necessarily try to get into something so quick. Volume picked up on this candle though, so that's something that I like to see. I like seeing that volume picked up right there. So that's on Bitcoin on the 1 hour. Weekly time frame has broken under the RSI line. So that's something that we definitely got to watch out for on Bitcoin on the weekly. Daily time frame, and almost came and hit TP, but not quite, rejecting off of the mean line. So price can definitely chill right here before making a lower low. But if you had gone into this sell, then your stop loss should be at break even for sure. From these highs at least. Maybe you got in right here, maybe you got in right here. But I would put my stop loss at break even no matter what. 4 hour, very much bearish. It's at the second deviation, so we can't see some type of turnaround, which might mean that 1 hour is close to calling for a buy, you know. So that's something that I definitely will be eager to look at, because if I see this call for a buy, then I'm most likely I'm going to probably end up getting out of this swing sell. So long, once per bar close, create. So let's see what happens with bitty Bitcoin. I'm gonna go over to Ripple. Ripple did the digital dash to the downside as well. Oof. Big digital downside, big downside push, right? Okay, let's get rid of this bear flag. And again, I don't like how it rejected from when it just merely came and barely touched the supply zone right there, right? I do, however, like where it came to, because same thing with Bitcoin. It came down to from where this low, before this bullish move happened. The retracement came down to the 71%, even came a little lower. It looks like it might possibly go bullish. If this plays out, that would be nice. That would be dope. I would love it, right? Absolutely would love it, because that will take that would then give me hope for price to break through the supply zone and then continue going bullish. That would be fire, right? So definitely gonna watch for that. However, the way how price came down and was bearish, it's not necessarily good signs telling me that, okay, yes, I can go, this can definitely sell off. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put the supplies, this demand zone right here. Okay, and then I'm also going to draw this fib up. And same thing, guys, like if I'm really gonna try to get into another sell on Ripple, which I don't think I will, then it'd probably be like right here. And that's only if price is really going to retrace right here. Like the way how this bearish daily looks and this weekly, like Bitcoin definitely does look better for a potential sell. For a potential buy, but Ripple not so much. So we'll see what really goes down here, but it just looks like it's consolidating at this point. It might be making another bearish flag if you ask me. So we'll see what happens though. It's going over to arbitrage. So this daily time frame, same thing. Price almost came to take profit. I'm gonna have to swing my take profit a little higher. Stop losses at break even. If price rejects off of this mean line, then I do expect it to continue pushing to the downside. So that's for the daily time frame. Weekly, I didn't even put my full screen back on when I was done with Bitcoin. It's alright. Rejecting off of the RSI line. I love seeing that on the weekly time frame for that possible bullish move. But I do be caring about that Bitcoin dominance a lot. I do be caring about it. So 4-hour time frame, very much bearish, and the 1-hour time frame, it might be setting up for a buy. If this calls for a buy, I might be interested in it. Okay, for a retracement, you see what the buy looks like. And so that's for Ripple. And Ethereum. Again, Ethereum, not my best friend right now. The way how it just looks, it's not the best looking. Because out of all the other cryptos, the retracement from this fall, this actually did come and hit 61.8, and it rejected off of 3,608, which is 31% fib, pretty nicely as well, and then dropped. So at this point, I'm kind of expecting it just to make it like hit these extensions. That's what I'm really high key seeing on Ethereum. Although same thing with the other cryptos, right? I don't want to discriminate, but from this low to this high, price came into this fib zone and rejected off of it pretty nicely. So that's one thing that I'm like, okay, it definitely did do that. So, but just again, the speed of how it came, it's just no bueno for me. It even did it the first time over here. I didn't even notice that. Then it came to the 23.6 and fell. So that's not a good sign for me. Seeing all that right there. And like I said, Ethereum, out of the three that I regularly trade, this doesn't look the greatest to me, So I'm gonna be watching if price comes back into this demand zone. I might try to sell it off again. Let me do that instead, because that just looks better. If price comes back into this demand zone, I might try to sell off again. Who knows? But it's not looking the greatest for me, honestly. 1 hour time frame is potentially going to call for a buy as well on Ethereum, so I'm going to set that up as well. for bar close. Y'all know how I do. Like that. Ooh, not that high. Breakout, retest, continuation. 4 hour time frame. It's very much bearish. Still at the second deviation, just like Ripple and Bitcoin. Daily time frame called for that sell just yesterday, rejecting off of this 50 EMA. So let's see what happens. I like this 1 hour play though. Although I do know, just like with Bitcoin and Ethereum as well, that the retracement all the way down to 2,885 can happen before it goes bullish as well. So keep my eyes on those. Okay. Let's go on over to GU. Ooh, this is the buy that I was wanting. I was wanting this buy. Okay. So GU. Let me just, this is just my ruler. Let me put that right there. 220 pips. Then I can hide these. Alright, so I am very much bearish on these GBP pairs. Very much bearish on them. But I do want to acknowledge that, hey, from where it's at right now, it is at a possible area where it can go bullish, right? As in, where is it? There you are. Although I just see it making lower highs and lower lows. Lower high. Like this lower highs, lower lows. It can be rejecting right here for a potential swing move, right? Like, I do want to acknowledge that for sure, that it can stop here and go bullish. But again, the way how price came down, it looked a little too fast for me. And even let's go on to the BXY, and I remember I was talking about this for weeks. I was like, yo, I'm looking for this to sell. It ended up selling from right here, so I don't necessarily want to try to even buy this, you know. Although yes, I do know it's because this looks basically just like GU, right? Don't necessarily want to try to buy this, but I can. Oh yeah, my bad. Played out nicely though. Yeah, but again, GU, it is in the area where you can buy it, but just because you can doesn't mean you should. 1 hour time frame doesn't look like it wants to go bullish. It's just climbing up pretty slowly. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend trying to sell this. I wouldn't recommend trying to buy this. In fact, I should probably get out of my EG cells. It's just my personal opinion. I think that this is gonna keep falling, especially how it came up and made these kind of equal highs over here. I would rather wait, and even with this arbitrage buy that's about to be called in 40 seconds, I'm not too crazy over it. But if you want to take that risk, by all means, this would be something that I would look at. It's a good 1 to 2.44 arbitrage users. So, like I said, by all means, it's not a bad look. You know, I might even try to play it. Might put like a 0.5% on it or something. Because no matter what, after this bearish move, I would want to see a correction nonetheless. So, I mean, this doesn't look bad, like I said. Put it below these lower lows and take a swing at it. Why not? Let's go over to GA. Bro, I'm so mad at this. So, you guys remember this play that I talked about, right? I said, oh, from this bearish move, the retracement, I wanted to get at the 71% and then price fall. It went and stalked me out first and then slammed to the TP, literally. I was hot. I was upset, but it's all right. It happens. It's part of the market, right? 4 hour time frame. Nonetheless, I mean, things are going as planned. I wanted the price to come up to the supply zone. The way how it came to the supply zone and dropped, it looks like it's made a lower low. This was a high, this is a low. I want to see a lower high create and then a lower low for the continuation. So basically, what I would want to see is something like this. right? That's what I want to see on GA, and I mean that's about it. Not even gonna talk too much about it. 4-hour time frame called for the sell. You guys know what it would be. I would need the retracement nonetheless before getting into the sell. So same thing as with what I have for technical analysis, and the daily time frame is still calling for this sell. It is currently trying to see if it wants to close above the RSI line or below it, but we still have 9 hours left, so just let it play out. But I'm looking for sells here. Definitely looking for some sells. As you guys can see, I was saying the same thing, but yeah, let's see what happens. I'm not necessarily looking for the bulls on GA. Alright, GBP/JPY. Ooh, these bears came to play over here. Alright, let me get rid of this as a long-term sell. GJ, potential buy opportunity. I mean, it could do, like I said, same thing with GU. It could definitely possibly do a retracement and go bullish. I don't necessarily care for the buys at this point. I'm more bearish than anything. I'm already in the sell. Let me actually extend this to where it actually came down to almost 300 pips. That's fire. But yeah, overall, at this point, this is what I would really have to see on GJ, because I would want to get into a sell for another entry at these prices where this bear flag was at, you know? So that's something that I'm watching out for GJ for sure. But I am, yeah, the bears, they came, they saw, they conquered. I really should have got in at 152.463. I keep saying this every week. But yeah, that's about it for GJ, honestly. 1 hour time frame, it's not there yet. That's exactly why I'm iffy about GU as well, because it's not there yet, but it could definitely go bullish very shortly. 4 hour time frame, very bearish. Daily time frame, I'm pretty sure it's very bearish, and weekly might be setting up for a sell. Yeah, setting up for a sell indeed. So again, I'm still very much, I want to see these GPs fall for real. So as for GJ, and let's go on over to EG. All right, EG, the swing sell, 71 pips up. Stop loss at break even, like I had mentioned yesterday in the chat. And same thing, right? At this point, it's kind of just like you just want to leave it alone. You don't want to necessarily try to play anything. The 4 hour doesn't look great for any type of trade opportunity. The 1 hour time frame might be setting up for a buy on arbitrage, but over here on technical analysis, I just want this to keep going to the upside, quite honestly. Not going to talk too much about it. I had gone into this 30-minute trade. My stop loss just got hit at break even. It's totally fine. Price could indeed continue falling, but I'm okay with that. So let's see what happens with EG, but like for me, I think this is just gonna keep going bearish. I mean, just keep going bullish at this point, rejecting off of these this RSI line, and then the bullish engulfing candle. I just think it's gonna keep going. Daily time frame, I mean, everything's basically bullish except for the weekly. So there you guys have it. Is there any other pairs that anybody wants me to look at before I hop off? Let me see what these pairs that I said I'm getting into are looking like. Okay, USD Mexican and some profits. That's good. Let's see what gold is. Probably not. All right, there's the breakout. Let's see if this breakout is going to be a fake out. So I'm going to have a better entry than most on gold. GU. Oh, it's about to call for, it called for that buy. And a green candle. I like seeing a green candle when it calls for buy. So yeah, definitely want to get into that. Am I in this? Why is it green? And I'm not in that anymore. Alright, well, that's the case. If there's no other pairs that anybody wants me to take a look at, yeah, G's out of here. Alright, well, then if that's the case, thanks guys for hopping on. I really do appreciate it.